You're in tune to the Paperflip Real Estate Podcast.
Home buyers, sellers, renters, and investors. I'm Lloyd for Real Estate. This is the Paperflip Podcast. A few days ago, I had the opportunity of meeting with the guys over at Cross Country Mortgage. They have an office here in Chicago, and we got a chance to discuss FHA 203K loans and how home buyers today are actually using 203K loans, which are renovation loans, to use as a strategy to beat the housing shortage that's going across America, period. And using these type of loans because of the low inventory and being able to go into certain neighborhoods and getting certain houses that are not so up to par or up to date in terms of value and in terms of style of some of the other houses that are in the area due to limited inventory, able to take out a 203K loan and do the type of renovations and bring the house up to par. So I thought it was an interesting concept, a good strategy. And from time to time, we get together with lenders and other practitioners in the real estate profession to find out how we could best service you, what we can actually bring to the table to make things better, not only for home buyers, but also for sellers as well. In today's briefing, we will get off into how home buyers are using FHA 203K loans to beat this housing shortage, but also how it is also a benefit to home sellers. We're going to get into that today. So I already know you're completely sick and tired of getting outbid on every decent house that you see out there. I see the frustration of a whole lot of people. And then also you're just tired of scrolling around, looking through listings only to find that the homes that you actually can afford need a mountain or a load of work and that you just can't possibly pay for it. It's a gut punch feeling that's become way too common for a whole lot of people. Now, let's face it, housing market right now, it's like a battlefield. You know, prices are sky high, mortgage rates being real stubborn, and the number of move-in ready homes is just frustrating. It's just real low right now. It's just not a whole lot of them available. It's enough to make anyone want to throw in the towel on the whole dream of owning a home, period. Just, hey, I give up. Doesn't work. I'm not going to be able to find a home that I want. I'm out. Don't want to do this no more. People are feeling that way. But what if I told you there's a way to kind of sidestep the bidding wars that's going on right now? A way to stop fighting over the same handful of perfect, overpriced houses and instead, unlock a hidden inventory of homes that most buyers, they just scroll right past. Think about that. Now, this isn't some fantasy about the market crashing or you winning the lottery, nothing like that. This is a real strategy that savvy home buyers are using today, right now, to not only get into a home, but to create the exact home that they always wanted. Like I said, it's a strategy. Oftentimes with built-in equity from day one. Imagine that. And it's all because thanks to a powerful government-backed tool that's called the FHA 203K renovation loan. Yep. FHA 203K renovation loan. Now, the housing situation today, it is tough. There's no sugarcoating it. First-time home buyers, it can almost feel like it's impossible. I mean, you do everything you're supposed to do. You got all your ducks in a row. You save for a down payment. You get your finances in order. You get a pre-approval letter, and you're ready to hit the ground running. You all set. Did what you're supposed to do. But then you actually enter the market. You go out there, you're in the marketplace now. Every home that's move-in ready has a dozen offers on it already. Many of them way over the asking price. You get stuck in this brutal cycle of hope and disappointment. You see a listing, you get excited, you schedule a tour, and by the time you decide to make an offer, it's already gone. I know it's exhausting. So you start to compromise. And maybe you look at houses a little further out, a little smaller, or a little rougher than you like. You find a place with, I don't know, good bones, but a kitchen from another decade, bathrooms that need to be gutted, or a roof that hasn't seen better days. Price is tempting, but the next question is a total deal breaker. Is the next question. How in the world would I pay for all that work? Kitchen needs work, needs a new roof, da-da-da-da-da. You save for your down payment. But not to do a massive renovation. So you end up passing, and the frustrating search continues on. And this is the exact wall so many buyers are hitting right now, caught between homes they can't win and homes they can't afford to fix. So this is where FHA 203K loan completely changes the game. And like I said earlier, it's a strategy. It's a financial tool that tackles this frustrating catch-22, catches it head on. Put simply, an FHA 203K loan is a single mortgage that rolls the purchase price of a home and the cost of its renovations into one loan with one monthly payment. And let me mention that again. FHA 203K loan is a single mortgage that rolls the purchase price of a home and the cost of his renovations into one loan with one monthly payment. That's the beauty of it. So instead of needing one loan to buy the house and then a separate loan for, doing repairs or taking out a high interest personal loan for those repairs, the 203K combines both of them together. So you got your repairs and your mortgage all into one loan combined. Now this opens up a whole new world of houses for you. You see the strategy here? So now suddenly, those fixer-uppers you've been ignoring aren't just affordable, but they're really genuine opportunities now. Ones you've been overlooking. You can now think about things a little differently. So you can now seriously consider homes that do need work. Homes other buyers are overlooking. Not fixed all the way up. You can start looking at those. Which means there's less competition. It ultimately means that you might be able to afford a home in your dream neighborhood that would have been out of reach if it was in perfect shape. You get to finance the transformation of this house, that real dated house. You can turn it into your ideal home, all wrapped into a single manageable mortgage. And this is it. Because the loan is insured by the Federal Housing Administration, the FHA. It is insured by them. And what ends up happening, lenders are willing to offer it with more flexible qualification standards because it is insured by the Federal Housing Administration. It makes it a little more comfortable for lenders. So there are two flavors of 203K loans. I'll try to explain here. Now, first you have the limited 203K, which is for smaller, non-structural stuff. Think a new kitchen, updated bathrooms, new floors, paint, stuff like that. That's the limited 203K. And you have the second kind, which is a standard 203K, which is for, bigger projects that might involve moving walls, adding a room, or other major structure repairs. Now, this one requires a bit more paperwork and a 203K consultant to oversee these things, but it allows for a total property makeover, total renovation. So you say, man, Lloyd, how does the FHA 203K process actually works? How does this thing works? Makes this vehicle move? Well, what does this actually look like in practice? The process is a bit more structured than your typical home purchase, but it is totally manageable. Now, first, you get pre-approved for a FHA 203K loan from an FHA approved lender. This part is key because not all lenders handle these types of loans. They don't. It takes a specialized lender like the people over at Cross Country Mortgage that I was with. Shout out to my man Richard Kimball. Puts on these events where we get together and just learn a lot of things and a lot of different products that are on the market for you guys. But you get you pre-approved. Your pre-approval amount actually is going to be based on the after renovation value of the home, which is what the property is expected to be worth after all the work is done. So they look at the after repair value. That's the number they're going to look at. And that's ultimately after repair, just what the house going to look like, fixed all up, prettied up, got all the essentials in there. And that's the main number that they're looking at. So next, you go out house hunting, but now you got a brand new set of eyes. You are looking for potential. You see how that goes? Now you looking at these houses differently and not what's not available. When you find a place that you like, in that neighborhood that you like and want to be in, you'll need to get detailed bids from licensed contractors to spell out the work and the cost. Now, these bids are super important because they become part of your loan application. An appraiser will then assess the home's current value and its projected value post-renovation based on those contract bids. So once your loan is approved and you close on the house, that's when the magic begins. The seller gets their money, and the funds for the renovation are put into a special escrow account. As your contractor finishes different stages of the work on the house, the money is released and paid to them, which is paid in what's called draws. This keeps everyone honest, and it also ensures that the work gets done right. So the contractor get paid in phases, or what we call draws. Now, the FHA has a real firm timeline on dealing with that. Now, all renovation work needs to be finished within 6 months of closing, which keeps the project moving along and gets you into your new home quickly, which is the goal. So we want to get them in and get them out. We don't want them dragging the project out. We want things moving along so we can get that house fixed up and get you in it. Now, like any financial tool that's out there, the FHA 203K has its upsides and downsides, its goods and its bads, and you got to weigh them out. Now, the biggest pro is access. It gives you access to way more homes by letting you seriously consider fix-uppers, and also gives you more. It also gives more people a shot at home ownership, to be frank about it. FHA loans are famous for their low down payment requirements, which can be as low as 3.5%. They also have more flexible credit score requirements, often accepting scores of 580 or higher. Imagine that. Now, this is a huge advantage for, for first-time buyers or anyone with less than perfect credit. Plus, you can build instant equity. So by buying low and making smart improvements, your home's value can immediately jump past what you actually paid for it. However, there are cons for you to think about. Now, FHA loans require mortgage insurance. We call it MIP. Mortgage insurance, both an upfront premium and also a monthly one. In many cases, that monthly premium sticks around for the life of the loan. Process also has more paperwork and can take longer to close than a conventional loan because of all the contracted bids and the appraisal steps that you have to take. You also are required to live in that home. Gotta live in it. You can't use a 203K loan for a pure investment property or vacation home. Not allowed to do that. And then finally, you can go wild with your renovations. You can't go wild with them. It's a limit to them. Some of us like the luxury items like swimming pools and fancy outdoor kitchens. They generally aren't allowed, but it may be some restrictions pertaining to that. So you would talk with the FHA loan advisor when it comes to things like that. So what are some alternatives to the FHA 203K? There are a few. Now, the FHA 203K, while it is a fantastic option, but it isn't only renovation loan on the block, just to be honest about it. It's marking all the alternatives. And the two main competitors are conventional renovation loans, which is the Fannie Mae Home Style and the Freddie Mac Choice Renovation Loan. So the Fannie Mae Home Style loan, it's a great choice for buyers they got strong credit, usually requiring a score around 620 or better. The down payment is typically at least 5%, but it's the biggest perk. It's really the biggest perk, and really the thing with this Fannie Mae Home Style loan is its flexibility. Now, unlike that FHA 203K, a home style loan can be used for investment properties and second homes. So with the Fannie Mae Home Style, now for my investor friends out there, you can use this type of loan for that, which many of them that I know that are flipping here in Chicago, they're using private money for the most part or finding other resources. But it is an option, and it does allow for luxury upgrades like pools and landscaping. So a major long-term win is that the mortgage insurance on a conventional loan can eventually be canceled once you have enough equity in the property, which isn't an option for most FHA loans. So you can take that mortgage insurance off. The Freddie Mae Choice Renovation Loan also requires a higher credit score, around 620 on up, and offers more flexibility than that FHA 203K. So one of its unique angles is a focus on improvements that can make a home more resilient to natural disasters, which is a huge plus in certain areas. Both the home style and choice renovation loans usually give you more time to get the work done. Usually go up to 15 months, which can be a huge relief, for bigger projects, having that more time. Choosing the right loan really comes down to your personal stats. Now, if you have a low credit score or less cash for a down payment, then the FHA 203K is probably your best bet. If you have a higher credit score, which means you have more to put down and you want to finance a rental property or add, their dream pool, then a conventional option like a home style or a choice renovation loan is likely a better fit for you. Now, let's be well, waiting around for the perfect, affordable, move-in ready home to fall in your lap might mean you'll be waiting a long time, like forever. Game has changed, and the buyers who are willing to adapt are the ones who win. So you may have to adapt and use a different strategy, like using a renovation loan, like a 203K. A renovation loan, whether it's a FHA 203K or a conventional option, it is more than just a mortgage. It's more than just a mortgage. In today's times, in today's market, is actually a strategy, as I've mentioned. It's your way to take back control in a market that feels completely out of control. Unless you stop searching for that perfect house and just simply start creating it on your own. You can force appreciation, build equity from the start, and sidestep the insane competition that's crushing so many buyers' dreams today. Just looking at home ownership as being out of reach, just not gonna happen. I don't want that for you. It can. It can happen for you if you're ready to buy a home. You just got to know the right strategies and be around someone that does know what the right strategies are. So if you're feeling stuck and you're sick of being priced out the market period and being outbidded and all that stuff, it's time to look at your options. It's time to look at your options differently, what you have available to you and what kind of resources. See that the potential in an imperfect world where you can turn it into a reality for yourself. Now, the key is to get educated and find out what you can qualify for. And of course, that's talking with a 203K specialist, a mortgage specialist, or loan officer. And so the most important first step is to talk to a qualified mortgage lender who actually specializes in renovation financing. And like I mentioned earlier, Richard Kimball, Cross Country Mortgage, I do have his information. If you would like to start the process. So don't let this housing market defeat you. It's a challenge, but it can be dealt with. And over the years, we find ourselves in these challenging situations, and we have to find a way to grab the bull by the horn. With the right tools and the right type of strategy, you have the power to build a home that you have been looking for and what you've been waiting on and what you deserve and what your family deserves. So that's it for me for today. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching. Make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe if you are digging what I'm putting down. Enjoy your day. This has been Lloyd for Real Estate.